So we're talking about aftermarket and original screens. There's two different types of screens available on the market. At Forever Wireless, we push the original screen for the simple fact is that you get a much better warranty. The stability of the screen is much better. And by stability, I mean flickering on the screen, any sort of pixelization or anything like that is less occurring on original screens than on aftermarket screens. The price difference between the two is usually about $20 to $30. For the warranty alone, going from 30 days with aftermarket to a year with original, it's worth it just for that purpose. The other reason is the crispness of the screen on original is very much more vivid colors than with the aftermarket, because they're looking for the cheapest price. So a lot of times I use aftermarket screen in the event that somebody is trading in their phone, like within the next 2 weeks. They don't want to spend the money, they don't care about the warranty, they just want a screen to be able to turn in their device to Apple or their carrier. So that's really what we reserve aftermarket screens for, is in the case that a customer is coming in just to change their screen to be able to turn in their device. If somebody's going to be keeping their device for a month, 2 months, 3 months, I always push the original option because A, for the warranty, B, the stability of the screen, and also aftermarket screens can affect other functionalities of the device, such as battery. They are not necessarily regulating the same energy between the two, and there's something called a touch IC chip that the screen actually connects to. And with the aftermarket screens, sometimes the communication between that IC chip and the screen and the motherboard can cause some issues where it's flickering, it's dimming, it's just not operating the best way. And also battery life can be affected by that because a phone is used to an original screen, and an original screen will allow it to keep the right amount of energy flowing to the screen without affecting other components of the motherboard. And the screen is what takes most of the energy from the phone.
Right. That's why people are always turning their resolution down, turning their brightness
down. Correct. You always want to make sure that the brightness is down. So what we've seen a lot in aftermarket devices is that the battery is not lasting as long because the screen is using more energy because it's much brighter, which isn't necessarily better for the experience on the device. Correct.
Because battery life is always an issue.
Correct. And that's, I mean, we can't use our phones without the battery. If I would have to guess, I would probably say somewhere around the 15 to 20%. The reason I'm saying that is just you can see the difference between the brightness. If you turn an original screen all the way up bright and then you turn an aftermarket screen, the aftermarket screen is brighter. There is also a notice of kind of a tint on the aftermarket screens. And again, it's just they're using a lower quality. They're trying to cut corners to be able to manufacture the same product that will work on an iPhone. The stability, meaning the defect rate of aftermarket screens, is in the 20s percentage wise. Original, less than 2%. So it's a huge difference, and that's keeping customers from coming back in the store is the main reason why I push originals, because I don't want them to keep coming back and having to change out screens, because that costs me money as well. So that is why we as a company have decided to do a 30-day warranty versus a year warranty, make it much more attractive to go with the original, because we know the experience that the customer is going to have overall is going to be better. We want to keep them out of the store. We don't want them to have them keep coming back. Also for us, when we do on-site repairs, we don't want to have to keep coming back. That costs us money as well. However many cycles you have to charge your phone is how long your battery is going to last over time. So let's say there's a 500 cycles that a battery should, be without any issues. You're going to be reducing that because you're going to have to be charging your phone more because your screen is going to be drawing more energy from your battery. The screen is going to start affecting the battery for the simple fact of cycles. You're not going to have the same battery longevity. And again, the simple fact is that you're not using an original part, so therefore they don't communicate as well with the motherboard. I always advise customers with every device that they have to not charge it if it doesn't need to be charged. You want to think of a battery as having a brain as well. So if it always thinks that there's juice in it, it's not going to hold the charge as well. But if it knows that it's losing power, and then it gets recharged fully, the health of the battery is going to be much better, which means it's going to last for more cycles over time. I even advise customers, I know it's much easier to use it all day and then plug it in at night, but honestly, if you're not using your device and it has full power, do not plug it in and leave it overnight. You want to charge it for the purpose of it being charged, and then let the battery drain. It's much healthier for the battery to do that. Of course, people, nowadays these power packs have become a lot more popular because where there's not plugs everywhere, we want to walk around. The reality is we're using our phones for work and business, and we need to use it as much as possible. Use power packs as little as possible, because unless it's a really high quality power pack, it's not regulating the energy the right way, and it can cause your battery to actually lose its battery life. So you have it plugged in and the battery's already at 100%, and then you have the power pack plugged up to it as well, and it's turned on as well, like with a Mophie case, for example. It's not healthy for the battery. It's making it seem that there's always a power source for it, and therefore it's not going to hold the energy in the battery as long as it would if you were actually plugging it up till it's 100%, using it till it's at 5%, charging it, and then using it again. That's a much better, a healthier way for a battery to last a lot longer.